Thank you for joining. Let me just share that back. Okay, let's start Radha Madhav. Jai Radha Madhava Jaya Kunj Bihari. Jai Radha Madhava Jaya Kunj Bihari. Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Jayo Giravardhari. Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Jayo Giravardhari. Shodhanandan Vraj Janaranjana Shodhanandan Vraj Janaranjana Yamuna Tirvanachari. Jai Radha Madhava Jaya Kunj Bihari. Jai Radha Madhava Jaya Kunj Bihari. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Agyantimidandasya Gyananjana Shalakya Chakshur Umilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuttapadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavcha Shri Rupa Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathamitam Tam Sajivam Sadhvetam Savadutam Krishna Setam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitam Scha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kant Radha Kant Namastute Tapta Kanchan Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Sutadevi Pranmami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatrubhyascha Kirpa Sindhubevacha Patitana Pavnebhyo Vaishnavabhyo Namo Namo. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Śrīmate Bhaktivedanta Swami iti namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Parcharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschati Deshatarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasdi Gaur Bhaktvananda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Mukham Kroti Vachalam Pangum Langyate Grim Yat Kirpatam Vandashi Gurundin Taranam Paramanandam Adam Shitaneshram Hari Om Tassat Narayan Namaskritya Naram Chevanaruttam Devim Saraswatim Yasam Tato Jemaduriyat Nasta Presha Abdureshu Nitya Bhagavata-Sevayā Bhagavati Uttam Shloke Bhakti Bhavati Neshtiki. So Hare Krishna everyone. We'll continue chapter 15. Last time we were discussing Arjun's separation and his reflections about Krishna, how what experiences they had, what pastimes they were, and we also talked about the emergency powers that he had, now they were taken away. Similarly, we have emergency powers given to us because we don't know how much time we have. We have these services or these powers to do services, and we should make the most of them because powers can be taken away any time. So let's use them in Krishna's service and not waste them. Everything is given by Krishna, and he has perfect relationship, whether you're a friend or a servant or a parent or a lover. His relationships are perfect, and should always be dependent on Krishna. So let's continue with verse 7. Yat samshayadroptyeham upagatanam rajanam swayamvar mukhe samrandurmadanam tejo hirtam kalu mayabhitascha matsya saji kritena danu sadhikta cha Krishna. Yat, by whose merciful, samshrayat, by strength, Drupad Geham, in the palace of King Drupad, Upagatanam, all those assembled, Rajanam, of the princess, Swambar Mukhe, on the occasion of the selection of the bridegroom, Sama Durmadanam, all lusty in thought, Teja, power, Ritam, vanquished, Kalu, as it were, Maya, by me, Abhihataha, pierced, Cha, also, Matsya, the fish target, Saji Kritena, by equipping the bow, Dhanusha, by that bow also, Adhigata, gained, Cha, also, Krishna, Draupadi. So Draupadi also knows Krishna. So only by his merciful strength was I able to vanquish all the lusty princes assembled at the palace of King Drupad for the selection of the bridegroom. With my bow and arrow I could pierce the fish target and thereby gain the hand of Draupadi. So Arjuna, remembering all the main events, that he knows that there's no way he could have done that without Krishna's help. It's the mercy of Krishna that we are able to do what we can do. So it's very humbling to understand that somebody like Arjun is also thinking like that, because he was a formidable warrior and archer. So we should remember, never be proud of anything. Draupadi was the most beautiful daughter of King Drupad, and when she was a young girl, almost all the princes desired her hand, but Drupad Maharaj decided to hand over his daughter to Arjun only, and therefore contrived a peculiar way to suit. He knew that only Arjun would be able to do that with mercy of Krishna. There was a fish hanging on the inner roof of the house under the protection of a wheel, so on the ceiling. The condition was that out of the princely order, one must be able to pierce the fish's eyes there through the wheel of protection, and no one would be allowed to look up at the target. On the ground there was a water pot in which the target and wheel were reflected. So you just look down at the reflection with the fish turning, a wheel turning at the top, and then you fire upwards. And one had to fix his aim towards the target by looking at the trembling water in the pot. So it's not like they would shake the water, not the water was like still, so it's like a perfect reflection. The reflection was moving all the time. Maharaj Drupad well knew that only Arjun, or alternatively Karn, could successfully carry out the plan, but still he wanted to hand his daughter to Arjun. And in the assembly of the princely order, when Drishtadumna, the brother of Draupadi, introduced all the princes to his grown-up sister, Karn was also present in the game, but Draupadi tactfully avoided Karn as the rival of Arjun, and she expressed her desires through her brother Drishdumna that she was unable to accept anyone who was less than a Kshatriya. The Vaishyas and the Shudras are less important than the Kshatriyas. Karan was known as the son of a carpenter, a Shudra. So Draupadi avoided Karan by this plea. When Arjun, in the dress of a poor Brahman, faced the difficult target, everyone was astonished, and all of them, especially Karan, offered a stiff fight to Arjun. But as usual, by the grace of Lord Krishna, he was able to emerge very successful in the princely fight and thus gain the valuable hand of Krishna or Draupadi. Arjun was lamentingly remembering the incident in the absence of the Lord, by whose strength only he was so powerful. So not only had to do this very, very difficult task, he had to fight off the competition physically as well, not just in the competition itself, but physically as well. He had to fight them off, because there's always like envy and anger which comes from envy. So explained that it was Krishna who made it happen. Arjun was looking at the reflection of the fish in the pot of water and had to shoot the eye of the fish. So not just only hit the fish, had to hit the eye, little eye of the fish. The reflection is always opposite to the actual reality. That's true as well. If we are looking in the mirror holding something in the right hand, it would look as you are holding it in your left hand. So only by Krishna's mercy, he was able to shoot the eye of the fish. So it's like pretty impossible thing to do. But with Krishna, nothing is impossible. So it's like me, I'm sticking my right hand up now, but it seems like, it's on the left of everyone watching. So yeah, it's very, very, very just like, well, no other prince could do it. And they were all archers, but they were unsuccessful. Only Karan, being son of Indra, he could have achieved it, but he never got the opportunity, by Krishna's arrangement. It's like Ravan, when Ram and Ravan were there to lift the Dhanush, the Ravan could have lifted it, but then he had a call that your Lanka's on fire, and then he had to run for that. So Krishna makes arrangements, he knows who he wants to be victorious, and he will arrange accordingly. So attracting Krishna's mercy is very, very important. You may be capable of doing something, very capable, but if the mercy is not there, then you won't get it. Simple as that. So you're not the only doer. You need the mercy of Krishna as well. Without that, it doesn't matter how great you are, you'll never be able to prove that you're great. Yat sinidavaham yo khandavam agnedam indram cha samraganam tarasa vijitya labda sabhama kritvad bhut shilpamaya digbo ranarpatayo balim advarete. Yat whose sanidao being nearby, aham myself, you not of astonishment, khandavam the protected forest of Indra, king of heaven, Agne unto the fire god, Adam delivered, Indram Indra, Cha also saw along with Amar Ganam the demigods, Tarasa with all dexterity, Vijitya having conquered, Labda having obtained, Sabha assembly house, Mayakrita built by Maya, Adbhut very wonderful, Shilpa art and workmanship, Maya potency, Digbaya from all directions, Ahar collected, Nirpataya all princes, Balim presentations, Advare brought to you. So because he was near me, it was possible for me to conquer with great dexterity the powerful king of heaven, Indradev, along with his demigod associates, and thus enable the fire god to devastate the Khanda forest. And only by his grace was a demon named Maya saved from the blazing Khanda forest, and thus we could build assembly house of wonderful architectural workmanship, where all princes assembled in the forms of Rajasuya Yajna and paid you tributes. Sorry, said earlier, Karan was actually the sun god's. He was the child of sun god, and this Arjun was the son of Indradev. So the demon Mayadana was an inhabitant of the forest Khandav, and when the Khandav forest was set on fire, he asked protection from Arjun. Arjun saved his life, and as a result of this, the demon felt obliged. He reciprocated by building a wonderful assembly house for the Pandavas, which attracted the extraordinary attention of all state princes. They felt the supernatural power of the Pandavas, and thus without grudge all of them submitted and paid tributes to the emperor. The demons possess wonderful and supernatural powers to create material wonders. So they have their uses, the demons, but they are always disturbing elements of the society. That's the only thing. They have the qualities, but they're more nuisance than good. The modern demons are the harmful material scientists who create some material wonders for disturbance in the society. For example, the creation of nuclear weapons had caused some panic in human society, because when one person or one country starts this arms race and they include nuclear weapons in the arsenal, then the others have to do the same. So this race, this nuclear race going on, and what's this for? To destroy humanity. So it's quite disturbing thing. They want to win wars, but so does the opposition, and they're making, weapons of mass destruction, and that's demoniac behavior. Maya was also a materialist like that, and he knew the art of creating such wonderful things, and yet Lord Krishna wanted to kill him. When he was chased by both by the fire and by the wheel of Lord Krishna, he took shelter of such a devotee as Arjun. He is so pretty clever. Who saved him from the wrath of the fire of Lord Shri Krishna. Devotees are therefore more merciful than the Lord, and in devotional service, the mercy of a devotee is more valuable than the mercy of the Lord. Both the fire and the Lord ceased from chasing the demons as soon as both of them saw the demon was given shelter by such a devotee as Arjun. This demon, feeling obliged to Arjun, wanted to do him some service to show his gratefulness, but Arjun declined to accept anything from him in exchange, because Kshatriyas, they see it as a duty to help the weak, whoever takes their shelter, not to gain something from them. Lord Shri Krishna, however, being pleased with Maya for his taking shelter of a devotee, asked him to render service unto King Yudhishthira by building a wonderful assembly house. So somebody else can ask. The process is that by the grace of the devotee, the mercy of the Lord is obtained, and by the mercy of the Lord, a chance to serve the Lord's devotee is obtained. The club of Bhimasen was also a gift of Maya Danav. So, by the mercy of the Lord, a chance to serve the Lord, his devotee is obtained. It's like Lord Nityananda asked Raghunath Das to feed the... first of all, he put his foot on his head, accepted him. It was like just banter going on between them. And then he said, now you can feed the devotees. And he was ecstatic by that Lord Nityananda's mercy, that I'm able to serve the devotees. So like that. So get the mercy. Mercy of the Lord means chance to serve the Lord's devotees. Because otherwise you cannot do anything. You can't serve anyone. You can't do any service at all if you don't have the mercy. So that's 8. So the relationship with the devotees is exalted. So we have to be careful how we interact with devotees. we should interact with them favorably, so we bring out their compassion and blessings for us. When we get devotees' blessings, then naturally we get blessings of Krishna. And Krishna also never overlooks the blessings given by his devotees. So if Srila Prabhupada or his guru gave any benediction, any blessing, that Krishna would have to carry it out, because any blessing given by his devotee is never wasted. Krishna will make sure. It's like the boons, Lord Shiva or Lord Brahma, when they give a boon, whether it's good for them or not, Krishna, he has to sanction it because his devotee has given it. But then later on, it gets complicated, and then he has to come and sort it out, whichever form, whether it's like Lord Nrsingadev or anyone else. Then you have to come and rectify the problem. But he is obliged to his devotees. Okay, nice. So let's do one more. Yat tejasa nirpashiro angriham ahan mukartam aryo nujastav gajayuta satvavira tena harita parmathnat makhya bhupa yan mochitas tad anyam balim advarete. So yat, whose tejasa, by influence, nirpa shira angrim, one whose feet are adored by the heads of kings. Ahan, killed, mak, artham, for the sacrifice, arya, respectable, anuja, younger brother, tavyo, gaj, ayuta, 10,000 elephants, satavira, powerful existence, tena, by him, aharita, collected, Paramatnath, the lord of the ghosts, Mahabhairav, Makhya, for sacrifice, Bhupaha, kings, Yat Mochita, by whom they were released, Tat Anyan, all of them brought, Balim, taxes, Advare, presented, there your respectable younger brother, who possess the strength of 10,000 elephants, killed by his grace Jarasandh, whose feet were worshipped by many kings. These kings had been brought for sacrifice in Jarasandh's Mahabhairav Yajna, but they were thus released. Later they paid tribute to your majesty. So Krishna was with them when Jarasandh was killed by Bhim. And Krishna told him how to kill him. There was a trick to it, I'm sure you have seen. So only Krishna knew the solution, or the secret, how to kill Jarasandh, and he told Bhim what he had to do. So Jarasandh was a very powerful king of Magadha, and the history of his birth and activity is also very interesting. His father, King Bhadrath, was also a very prosperous and powerful king of Magadha, but he had no son. Although he married two daughters of the king of Kashi, being disappointed in not getting a son from either of the two queens, the king, along with his wives, left home to live in the forest for austerities. But in the forest, he was benedicted by the great Rishi to have a son, and he gave one mango to be eaten by the queens. The queens did so and were very soon pregnant. The king was very happy to see the queens bearing children, but when the ripe time approached, the queens delivered one child in two parts, one from each of the queen's wombs. The two parts were thrown in the forest, where a great she-demon used to live, and she was glad to have some delicate flesh and blood from a newly born child. Out of curiosity, she joined the two parts, and the child became complete and regained life. The she-demon was known as Jara, so that's why called Jarasandh. And being compassionate on the childless king, she went to the king and presented him with the nice child. The king was very pleased with the she-demon and wanted to reward her according to her desire. The she-demon expressed her desire that the child be named after her, and thus the child was surnamed Jarasandh. Or or one who was joined by Jara, the she demon. In fact, this Jarasandha was born as one of the parts and parcel of the demon Viprachati. The saint by whose benedictions the queen bore the child was called Chandra Koshik, who foretold of the child before his father Bridrat. So since Jarasandha possessed demoniac qualities from birth, naturally he became a great devotee of Lord Shiva, the lord of all ghostly and demoniac men. Ravan was a great devotee of Shiva, and so also Jarasandha. He used to sacrifice all arrested kings before Lord Mahavirav, or Shiva. By his military power, he defeated many small kings and arrested them to butcher before Mahabhairav. There are many devotees of Lord Mahabhairav or Kal Bhairav in the province of Bihar, formerly called Magad. So Jarasandha was a relative of Kams, the maternal uncle of Krishna, and therefore after Kamsa's death, King Jarasandha became a great enemy of Krishna. And there were many fights between Jarasandha and Krishna. Lord Krishna wanted to kill him, but he also wanted that those who served as military men for Jarasandha might not be killed. Therefore, a plan was adopted to kill him. Krishna, Bhima, and Arjuna together went to Jarasandha in the dress of poor Brahmins and begged charity from King Jarasandha. Jarasandha never refused charity to any Brahman, and he performed many sacrifices also. Yet he was not on a par with devotional service. Lord Krishna, Bhima, and Arjuna asked Jarasandha for the facility of fighting him, and it was settled that Jarasandha would fight with Bhima only. So all of them were both guests and combatants of Jarasandha. So, and Bhima and Jarasandha fought every day for several days. Because Jarasandha could not be killed, there was only one way to kill him. Bhima became disappointed, but Krishna gave him hints about Jarasandha being joined together as an infant, and thus Bhima dissected him again and so killed him. All the kings who were detained in the concentration camp to be killed before Mahabharata were thus released by Bhima. Feeling thus obliged to the Pandavas, they paid tribute to King Yudhishthira. So they managed to get so many allies at that time as well, because all the kings they saved who were going to be sacrificed now became their friends. So Krishna works in mysterious ways, got rid of Jarasandha, got rid of an enemy, and made so many friends. Only Krishna can make such powerful arrangements like that. So this is 9. So Bhima was able to defeat Jarasandha. How Krishna intervened in the process. Jarasandha could not be killed even after splitting him in two. His body would come together. Krishna hinted how his two parts of his body should be thrown in opposite side, then they would not come together. So one behind him, one in front, so they wouldn't be able to come together. So, yeah, so I think Bhima splitted him, but then they were joined together again, and he couldn't understand what to do. And Krishna said, "Do this, just throw them in opposite directions, and they won't be able to come together." And it's just like when the baby was thrown in the forest, I guess, the body did not come together. Only Jara, the demoness, was able to put him together. When she put the body, the two halves together. Okay, let's stop here. And so this is Glories of Sri Krishna. As you can see, Vyasadeva, he has put so much about Krishna in the first canto. All his glories are there, especially with the Pandavas are there. Then Krishna is there, and his glories are there. And so Vyasadeva, because he left Krishna out, his glories, his pastimes out of his the Vedas, and he was despondent. Now, especially in Canto 1, he's made up big time on his mistake, and we can learn so much that without Krishna, nothing would be possible. So thank you so much, and let's hear from yourselves. Stop sharing. Hare Krishna. So let's start with the Pundrikaksh Prabhu. Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dhanat Pranam.
Jai.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Again, I think I need to read these purports again to understand more, Prabhuji. I mean, you explained very nicely. We had this quote that he who is protected by dharma, he who protects the dharma is protected by dharma. So, like that, he who worship Krishna will be protected by Krishna himself. So Arjuna could realize even those times where he has not seen Krishna personally, like face to face, but still he could sense that all those things he was able to do only because of the mercy of Krishna. Without the mercy of Krishna, it's not possible. And we are seeing Krishna how he helped in all the instances of Pandavas. And the great thing is like this Jarasandha incident. Nobody will know that the secret behind how to kill him, but Krishna advised that tip very nicely by using a small dharba, I think, throwing it in either directions. So it's and the second point is only through mercy of the devotees you get Krishna, and to get the association of devotees you have to pray to Krishna. So even we say for getting the spiritual master you need to ask Krishna, and when you get the spiritual master he will take you close to Krishna. So it's interdependent on devotees and Krishna together. So we should not neglect Krishna, or we should not neglect even devotees. Both are merciful to us. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhu. Yeah, Krishna makes the impossible possible, as demonstrated here in this reading. What is impossible for us, and nothing is impossible for Krishna. Kiran Prabhu, Hari Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna, everybody. For me, it was the reminder of the attention and focus that Arjuna initially gave during the getting the hand of Draupadi, and the eye of the fish, the wheel, the pot, and not only was the pot full of water, but it was also trembling. And so it reminds me of, we live in a world full of deception, deceit, dualities, and the world's trembling. And so we have to keep attention and focus on our bhakti, because it's so easy to be distracted. You could see that Arjuna was a seasoned warrior, and he had practiced day and night, and then he even gave up, or he gave up food to even practice at night, so that he could fire arrows in the night. And so that is the depth of our bhakti we should be looking at. Is it casual? Is it committed? Is it serious? Those are the kind of things that I'm taking away again. But also the Jarasan story is Krishna is the one we need to depend on for solutions, because he's your ultimate friend and your forever well-wisher. At times of trials and tribulations, in fact, at all times, be dependent and be surrendered to Krishna. And all your troubles and your difficulties will simply fade away. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much. Yeah. So, Jarasan could not be saved because Krishna wanted him to go, and the beam could not be defeated even by Jarasandha. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Hina Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna everyone, Hare Krishna everyone. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. The Prabhupads have made some very nice points already. I think the only thing I was going to add was, I think it's verse 7, how it talks about the mercy of the Lord's devotees. And I was just thinking about how precious that is and how special that is, and we should never take it for granted. Devotees are not ordinary people. And I was just thinking about how even seeing a devotee out on Harinam, for example, and we've heard many stories like this, that they're so powerful, they're able to change someone else's life. Seeing the sight of a devotee, for example, could encourage someone to become inquisitive, to reach out to the movements, etc. So it's they're very, very powerful people. And that was just the only thing I wanted to add. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Madhuri. Yeah, it's the mercy of devotees that we are here in Krishna consciousness. We are studying, we are following a practice. So many people have helped us to get where we are, and so many people helped us on the street to come to temple in the first place, get invited to the temple, and then so many people helped us to stay there and to follow the practice. So it's all the mercy of devotees. All the Krishna works through his devotees to help us. Thank you, Mataji. Praveen Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhupada. Yeah, so what came to my mind is everything is Krishna's will and Krishna's mercy. Whatever is happening, we are not the doers. It's all because of Krishna's mercy and his plan, whatever is best for us. And like says, Krishna Mare, Rakhe Krishna Mare Krishna Rakhe. So whoever Krishna wants to protect and whoever he wants to kill, nobody can change that. So yeah, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. And thank you again, Prabhuji. So it's the mercy of the devotees that we are getting this mercy. So thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Thank you. Radharani?
Hare Krishna, everyone. My pranams to all of you. Yes, we are again hearing the glories from Srila Vyasadeva in the Bhagavatam and all the glories of Krishna. This is our human life all about, to hear the glories of the Lord, to sing the glories of the Lord, and to remember Lord. This is the only way how we can remember Lord in this human life. The kind of faculties we have, this is the only way. There's no other way. And these verses are telling us again about the importance of the presence of Krishna in the devotee's life, and how important it is. Without their presence, the presence of Lord, nothing would have been possible. We are hearing about how Jarasandha was manifested and how he was annihilated, and then if it wasn't for the guidance of the Lord, because the one who is the creator, only they can guide us about how to go about the situations which are arising. So when we are praying to Lord every day, we are remembering Lord in our chanting and doing little bit seva for the Lord daily. Lord is taking notice of all that and guiding us from within. Otherwise, Lord has promised that he will quietly sit within our heart as a localized form, in his localized form, and not interrupt in our doing. So it's so important to recognize the presence of the Lord, the devotees, and all the mercy and all the benedictions and all the good things which we have been endowed with by the Lord, and to remember the purpose of everything, why everything is around us. It's not just for our little bit of sense gratification here and there. It's got a higher purpose, and we have to learn from these verses and all the verses which we cover every time we get together here. And it's so wonderful that one chapter finishes, and how beautifully, the chronology of the chapters is perfect, and nothing has been left out. Everything has been told in a nice sequence, in a beautiful way, and we can see the dedication of Vyasadeva. And every verse just flows. We know he's the incarnation of Lord himself, but still, when we think that Lord does so many things at the same time in multiverse universes, and within through each and every jiva, so it just amazes you, to know more about the Lord, and to worship him, and to understand him, and to be able to do something for him in this life. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, and thank you once more, and let's catch up again on Wednesday to continue this wonderful chapter. Grantha Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Prem Nande, Hari Hari. Thank you all so much.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you.